Why did 42-year-old Joshua Patrick Runkles of North Carolina gain access to State Farm Stadium in Arizona armed with a loaded pistol, revolver, and several knives? And why was Runkles allowed to bond out of jail today? Those are two big questions being asked today as State Farm Stadium prepares to host a memorial service for Charlie Kirk on Sunday in Glendale, Arizona. President Trump is spending the weekend in Washington, D.C., before traveling to Glendale on Sunday for the memorial, so security is extremely high. Andrew Colvett, a Turning Point USA spokesman, clarified the situation. He wrote, "I want to add a note of clarity here. This individual was doing advance security for a known guest planning to attend the memorial service tomorrow. We do not believe this person was attempting anything nefarious. However, the advance was not done in proper coordination with the TPUSA security team or U.S. Secret Service. Also important to note that this was before the site had been fully sealed and locked down. Every precaution is being taken to ensure everyone's safety." Despite that tweet, a new probable cause arrest affidavit published by Matt Finn, a Los Angeles-based correspondent for the Fox News Channel, says Runkles pretended to be a peace officer. He claimed he was an officer of the law and flashed a Franklin County Sheriff's Office badge, plus an Idaho law enforcement ID card. But Runkles was not what he claimed to be. It was just after noon on Friday, September 19th. 2025 at 12:15 p.m. when Arizona Department of Public Safety Major John Paul Cartier, badge number 6199, was working a security detail at State Farm Stadium and was contacted by a white male later identified as Joshua Patrick Runkles. Runkles showed Cartier his North Carolina driver's license after approaching Cartier's unmarked patrol vehicle. Runkles was toting a green or a tan satchel with a shoulder strap. He next claimed he was working with a security detail via Turning Point USA. He claimed he just happened to be in town when employees with Turning Point USA called and requested him to work as security for the huge event. Runkles said that he or his company were able to assist with security and were then assigned to the event. Major Cartier told Runkles that anyone associated with Turning Point USA security would have to contact the company and talk to a representative who could then coordinate with the United States Secret Service and figure out if Runkles was actually approved to have access to the stadium and learn the event protocols for security personnel. That's when Major Cartier asked Runkles if he had any ID on him, and Runkles then presented the Franklin County Sheriff's Office badge and an Idaho law enforcement ID, plus a sworn commissioned reserve peace officer with the name Joshua Runkles. When Major Cartier asked Runkles if he was armed, Runkles said yes. Major Cartier told Runkles he needed to get in touch with Turning Point USA reps and that he was not allowed to enter the property, nor was he allowed to be armed on the property. Instead of being combative, Runkles was compliant, respectful, and cooperative during the conversation, says the court document. Runkles said he understood the requirements and would get in contact with personnel from Turning Point USA. Later, around 2 p.m., United States Secret Service staff ran into Runkles near the admin elevators on the club level, actually inside of the State Farm Stadium. That's when the Secret Service detained Runkles after they learned that he was armed. Captain Jason Warren told Major Cartier that there was a report of an unauthorized male inside of State Farm Stadium on the 200 club level with a weapon. Major Cartier responded to the area, and once on the scene, he saw Runkles sitting on the floor after he had been detained. Cartier saw at least 2 firearms and other personal effects on a table. Based on the interaction with Major Cartier, Runkles presented himself as some sort of law enforcement officer, but he is not a peace officer in the state of Arizona, nor is he currently associated or employed with the Franklin County Sheriff's Office as the badge and card he presented claims. Officials learned then Runkles does indeed possess a concealed carry permit, or CCW permit, also known as a handgun license, which was issued to him in North Carolina. However, since there is heightened security at State Farm Stadium and very high security planned for the event, Major Cartier told Runkles he was not allowed to be armed. What's surprising is the amount of weaponry that Runkles had on him when caught. Runkles gained access into State Farm Stadium while he was armed with a loaded pistol, a revolver, and several knives after being told by the DPS trooper that he wasn't allowed to be armed. Runkles blatantly disobeyed the instructions, says the probable cause statement, and presented those badges to gain access to the stadium under his fake authority as a peace officer. Perhaps it was all some big misunderstanding, but officials are not taking any chances with the Sunday event that is open to the public and is expected to draw upwards of 100,000 people. Even though the State Farm Stadium has fixed seating for 63,400 people and can expand to hold more than 73,000 folks for larger events, there might still be an overflow of people. Turning Point USA has also reserved the venue next door, the former NHL Arena, known as the Desert Diamond Arena, for overflow. The service will include speeches from President Donald Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance, Erica Kirk, and others. Christian worship singers Chris Tomlin, Brandon Lake, Phil Wickham, Carrie Job Carnes, and Cody Carnes also are set to perform Sunday. Meanwhile, Runkles was taken into custody on Friday and was charged with impersonating a law enforcement officer, a felony, and carrying a weapon into a prohibited place, which is a misdemeanor. According to VineLink, Runkles was booked late Friday night on September 19th into custody, but now enjoys a bonded out status. The reporting agency is the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office. It is not clear if these charges will stick to Runkles or if it was all a mistake. Meanwhile, the booking photo for Runkles is spreading everywhere online, but it is good to know that authorities are taking every precaution to keep everyone as safe as possible on Sunday. According to Turning Point USA, the event is titled Building a Legacy, Remembering Charlie Kirk, and the service is scheduled to start at 11 a.m. local time, which is 2 p.m. Eastern time. Let's close with 1 Chronicles, chapter 28, verse 19. All this David said, I have in writing as a result of the Lord's hand on me, and he enabled me to understand all the details of the plan.